Hi everyone, I'm Mary. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the main thing I've learned since I started working as a product design engineer. But first, let's roll back to before I started this job. 18 months ago, I was a fresh, young, vibrant product design graduate, full of the joys and potential of life. I was going to achieve great things. I was going to design great products. I was young and free of the shackles of responsibility. The world was my oyster. I could do anything and go anywhere. I ended up in Preston, but the less we say about that, the better. In November 2015, I got my first real grown-up adult job. I was going to be a product design engineer, working in developing medical products and doing research into human behaviour for the University of Central Lancashire. Woo! This was going to be great. I was going to be working with cutting-edge technology. I was going to be working with intelligent, capable, academic people. I was going to be working with bright and intelligent medical clinicians. I was so excited. When I started work, I very quickly learned that people are fucking idiots. The first time I realised that people are idiots was when I began doing research that involved the use of eye tracking glasses. For anyone that doesn't know, these are a pair of glasses that have 4 tiny cameras around the rims. And combined with some very clever algorithms, they can detect exactly what the wearer is looking at. As I started to get to know the kit and was researching all the background information around it, I was so excited. This was going to be fascinating. I was going to gain insight into how the complex human mind works. I was going to see how people make decisions based on the visual stimulus around them. I was going to finally find out what people actually look at. Shiny things. People look at shiny things. We have put people on the moon. We have invented ways of harnessing energy from the sun, but put a sparkly thing in a room, and that's it. But not just that. The other things that people looked at were movement and members of the opposite sex. This was fine, expected even, until I realised all they had done was scientifically prove that people will shag anything that moves. After my initial jaunt with eye tracking, I began working directly in the medical field with clinicians. These were people who were far more intelligent than myself. They had studied for years to get to where they were. It was really going to be a fascinating way of gaining insight into products and hospital life and the problems that surround these. One particular product we were brought in to look at was a finger tourniquet. Right, I thought, let's get started. What are the key problems we're looking at? What are the key issues we're tackling? Clinicians forget to take them off. Are you fucking kidding me? You've studied for years to get to where you are. You've memorised half of Grey's Anatomy. I sincerely hope the book and not the TV show, although that might be where we're going wrong. Yet you're leaving bits of plastic on people's hands until their fingers drop off. But really, I shouldn't have been surprised about the high prevalence of stupidity amongst the general populace, especially as a product designer. All you have to do is pick up a product and look at its warning labels. You can go into a supermarket, pick up a packet of almonds and read, contains nuts. And every time I see this, I'm filled with a whole new sense of wonder, because some arsehole with a nut allergy has gone in, picked it up, tried to eat it, and gone into anaphylactic shock like it's some big surprise. That doesn't contain nuts, that is nuts. I really think that occasionally we should just let a tiger loose out with a sign around its neck that says, "Pet me," and let natural selection take its toll. The final nail in the coffin of my journey into a life of deep-rooted cynicism was perhaps the most depressing revelation of all. We're all sat here going, stupid people, they're everywhere, without thinking that, hey, actually, maybe we are the stupid one. But basic statistics tell us that 50% of the population are of below average intelligence. So take a look around. Look who is sat next to you, because chances are one of you is a moron. Last week at work, we were tasked to design a children's card game that involved spelling as many three-letter words as possible. Let me tell you the carnage this caused. Scrabble dictionaries came out. Was MOT allowed? Was sack spelt with a CK or just a C? The worst argument that broke out was, how do you spell the word none? I didn't dare remind anyone that this was a game for 5-year-olds, partly because I was sat in the corner going, I don't know if proper nouns are allowed, and actually, what a proper noun actually is. I'll leave you with a story that often gets told in my family in times of deep despair about the lack of intelligence in the world. In a small town in South Africa, they have an annual agricultural show. At this show, there is a competition for the best breeding bull at stud. This particular class is judged by the mayor. One year, the competition was particularly fierce, and they had whittled the class down to 2 bulls. But try as they might, they couldn't decide which was the better bull. Was it the mighty, proud Frisian, or was it the Hereford? Eventually, the mayor calls his assistant over, a recent graduate from Cape Town, and he says, "You're a bright young man, you make the decision." So the assistant comes over and he inspects each bull closely. He looks at their eyes, and he looks behind their ears, and he looks between their legs, and eventually he says, the Frisian is the best bull." "Yes," everyone cries, "the Frisian, of course the Frisian. Look at its superior conformation. What a bright young man with such a good eye." Later on that day, the mayor pulls his assistant aside and says, "So, how did you make the decision?" The assistant says, "Well, it was simple, really. I just looked at the bull which would produce the most milk." Good night, everyone.